There was a day we held our breath and felt the sting of bitter death, when all our hopes were buried in the grave. Our eyes awake, our hearts were torn between our faith and what we knew before our King was buried in the grave. Grace was in the tension of everything we've lost, standing empty-handed, shattered by the cross. And all we had was a promise like a thread, holding us, keeping us, oh, from fraying at the edge. All we knew was you said you'd come again. You'd rise up from the dead. There was a day we looked for proof that you had risen from the tomb, and all our doubts began to roll away. We touched the scars upon your hands. You kept your word, Son of Man. You buried death by taking on the grave. You came here to save us, 'cause everything was lost. No longer empty-handed, clinging to the cross. All we had was a promise like a thread, holding us, keeping us, oh, from fraying at the edge. And all we knew was you said you'd come again. You rise up from the dead.
I knew Jesus as he lived and breathed and walked this earth. I loved him from the moment I heard his name. I believed in him. I had great faith. And he healed me. He looked past all that I was, all that I wasn't. He took from me my pain and my sorrow, all of my grief, all of the demons that had haunted me in every waking moment. In him, it seemed I was reborn, and I wasn't alone. He healed many. I began to follow him, trusting that he was indeed the Son of God. He taught us love through loving us, and every day he would teach us about God. I felt such joy just to be near him. I knew that I would follow him for the rest of my life. I did. I followed him every step to the cross. I watched weeping as they nailed him to the cross. He was beaten and bruised and bloody. That gentle man who had done no wrong. It was unbearable. And yet I would not leave him. I was there as he cried out to God, and as the earth quaked around us. I walked to the grave, and I watched as they rolled a large stone over the door to the tomb. Then after the Sabbath, we went back. My heart was heavy, And it seemed like I couldn't blink away the image of Jesus' body hanging upon that cross. I had been so sure that he was the Son of God. I had thought that he would come down from that cross to save himself. But he never did. He died like any man. And I was confused and so very hurt to have lost him. I remember as we neared the tomb, I was struck by the image of the large stone that had been rolled over the door. It felt like a bitter joke. Not only was Jesus gone, but there was no way for us to make our way into the tomb to anoint his body. I almost stopped walking because I thought to myself, who will roll the stone away?
Well, all we had was a promise like a thread, holding us, keeping us, all from fraying at the edge. All you knew is that you said you'd come again. You'd rise up from the dead. Well, all we had was a promise like a thread, holding us, keeping us, all from fraying